whole session at Buckle and Boots 2024, where our journey starts.
Welcome back to Moho Sessions number 9, isn't it?
9.
Can't count these days, Gary. This is the Buckle and Boots edition, and we're on this snazzy bus, which I absolutely adore.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, isn't it?
It's looking fabulous. It's such a great setting for this. Like, it's just... Were these put on hand manually?
They will have been, yeah. I mean, so the last time I was back here. This is brand new to me, so they've obviously
brand new to you.
I've not been up here the whole weekend, so it's a nice surprise.
It's so like it's just lovely. I like the amount of time that must have gone into this.
Well, Laura Hancock's very kind of keen on the visuals around the site. Puts a lot of time and effort into prepping that, whether it's here or the green room or kind of little touches around the site. She's very good at that.
So, I'm not introduced you yet. This is Gary Quinn, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Country artist, co-founder of Buckle and Boots. So you're currently doing touring all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy start to the year.
Every time you put an announcement, I'm on tour. I want to talk about Buckle, seeing as we're here in Buckle and Boots. What was the kind of inspiration for starting? Who's kind of sparked the idea to kind of put on a festival? Because it's not easy putting on a festival.
It's not, and I never envisaged years and years ago that I would be a co-founder and runner of a festival. But I'd come here around maybe 9 years ago and played a festival called Blackthorn Festival.
That was here, wasn't it?
That was here, yeah. And the Hancocks had started that. I was the only country artist in the bill that they'd ever had, and we got talking about country after the show, just about where country music was at that point around 8-9 years ago and what was happening. You had C2C had just started a Nashville TV show. There was something bubbling at that time, so we had a kind of an hour or two chat about country and where it was at. Talked about the setting here as you kind of enter the park, how it lends itself to country music. You feel that you are in the middle of nowhere, but you're only 20 minutes out of Manchester. And I thought it'd be a great place to have a festival, and that's pretty much where we left it. Heard nothing from Keiron until 3 months later. He said, "Hey, do you want to start a festival?"
Why not?
Let's try and do that. So that was in October of 2015, and by June 2016, Phil Vassar was on the headline stage there, and we were rocking it out for the first time.
That's pretty cool for a first.
Pretty quick. Yeah.
It's pretty quick, but it's also pretty cool for a headliner.
Well, Phil and I've been friendly for about 11 years now, 12 years, and it just happened at that time. He was touring through Europe, and we were talking, and I said, "If you've got a weekend spare through that run, how do you fancy coming over?" And he said, "Yeah, let's make it happen." So, yeah, to have him as the first headliner was pretty cool, pretty special, and even though the ethos of the festival here is to really promote UK country, to give UK country artists a platform that they can get up and do their thing. Yeah. We were fully aware that you needed to have some names, some people from America or outside to come here that would be of interest to other people to buy the ticket. So that's kind of where we're currently at. We're always trying to be the festival where you discover somebody new. That's a UK country artist. I mean, Taylor Moss went down an absolute storm yesterday.
Mikol Frachey, we just chatted to her. She's so
great.
Cool.
She's great.
Italian country.
Super humble as well. You know, really thankful and grateful to be given the opportunity to come over, because I can understand where Italy might be on the country music kind of map, where England, UK was possibly 10 to 12 years ago. If you were an up and coming artist, probably felt there wasn't a lot of places that you could go and play. Again, which is what helped spark this for us. So by giving her an opportunity to come here, hopefully it incentivizes her to go back to Italy and maybe do something similar, or continue to look at this market to come over and play.
Yeah, I think she's very keen on doing that. She said she's been making a lot of contacts and networking while she was here, and she was just saying how friendly all the artists are, and that the jamming sessions and stuff. She was talking about jamming out with the Heartbreakers, which must have been absolutely ace, because they rocked it last night.
They did indeed.
They totally rocked it. And when you said that, like, UK artists, I actually, like, last year when I watched Amelia Quinn play on the main stage, when she played Backroads, I was standing there going, "You're killing it here." Like, she just made her mark. Like, it was like a career defining moment.
Possibly, yeah. You know what I think.
And then she main staged it, and I was like, yes. And she just slayed. Like, it was.
We have some kind of cool stories from here. You know, Amelia is one of them. Kez McGill, Jade Halliwell. We've watched them all come in and start kind of on the lower ebb of some of the whether it be the paddock stage or kind of an afternoon slot here and the main stage, and it's really up to them and how they approach it, and they deliver, and so we see that and we see the crowd reaction, and we want to then keep pushing them up to headline spot. So Amelia's gone from paddock to the main stage headline within a couple of years, which is pretty cool. Alan Finland done something similar.
He's so humble and so good.
Yeah, and you've got Eddy Smith here who's rocking it out, and we got up in the slot there last night too. And the thing for me is they're good enough to do it, and I think perception wise across the UK in the past it's like, well, if you're from the UK then you're not good enough, you're just, it's a hobby, you know.
Bugs me.
So
that's my pet beer. I've not been discussing that very much, but as soon as you're here it's a different vibe. I'm like, it's like there's a lot of people on very negative about UK country. Like it's just like so much so that they say there was a few kind of statements that have been said on social media or anti-social media, as I'm now calling it because of Alan Finland. UK country doesn't exist, and I'm not going to pay to see a UK artist headline at the arena in the O2. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah.
But then they'll go and see Adele in a small venue, and then they'll go and see her in a bigger venue, and it's like, why is that? I just wonder, what is it about UK country that that's such a stigma? Because me knowing it and loving it so much, and all the artists that are here, and the UK scene is just like expanding every single minute.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many acts, new acts. I mean, Pearson, like he's got something special.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people on the roster this time around that are going to be brand new to everyone here, who probably feel that they've got their finger on the pulse of the UK country scene.
But they
They've
don't.
probably discovered another 5 or 6 artists. So that's wonderful too, that we're able to kind of give them something different each and every year. You don't want to be repeating too much. That can be difficult, moving forward. So we always want the new crop coming through because it gives us more an eclectic mix across the 2 stages. But with regard to like UK country and its perception, look, everybody's different, and something that we love, not everyone's going to love. Likewise, what they love, not necessarily what we're going to love. And it's more important, I think, that we just accept that each other's opinions. It's not about like you're right or wrong. For me, good music's good music, and I suppose we can be ourselves a little in the mix where we're labelling things UK country music's country music.
Indeed.
For me,
see, I've hashtagged world country.
Yeah, for me, it's just it's a feeling. It's the way you live. It's how you go about your life. And it doesn't matter where in the world that you land on that or where you're from, because you're going to be drawn to it because it's how you feel and it's what you like to listen to. I think that sometimes people think if you're singing country, you have to have an American twang. I will have a twang coming through just simply I grew up listening to Garth Brooks. That guy probably taught me how to sing. But it's not that we're out there intensely trying to be American. We're up there singing songs that we feel, and it just so happens that America is the hub and mecca of country music, but it's happening all over the world, like Australia, Canada.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like all the acts we've had, like UK, America, Italy, Canada, Australia for Taylor Moss.
Yeah, like whenever Mikol was up there singing, you'd never said she was from Italy.
You know, no.
Yeah.
Like when I was listening to her, I was getting Alanis Morissette vibes completely off her. But no, you would never have thought Italy. And then when she said she was from Italy, I was like, and then like her English is like top notch.
Yeah,
like my Italian is crap.
Well,
absolutely, I know 2 words, and that's my. And she's sitting there being from Italy and like fluent English, and I'm like.
I struggle with English myself.
Is that before or after the beers?
yeah. But yeah, you go on foreign holidays and it puts you to shame, really, doesn't it? The amount of times that you go away and you just expect everyone to speak English. So we're kind of lucky in that regard that people have that as their dialect whenever they come here. They fit straight in. And then we had Enrique Perez Mendoza from Liechtenstein via Mexico. All those little stories that we love to kind of put out there, that we share, festivals sharing artists and sharing knowledge, and that's what we've done with Australia too. So yeah, look, country's it's more a feeling. It's not a label of a style, as far as I'd see.
There you go. Gary Quinn has spoken. That's definitely a hashtag. But I think that's how kind of I feel about it. But there is that it's just the stigma that's out there, and don't know. Do you think, like, I'm going to ask you about it because you've got you've got 2 different heads on you, like an artist as well as a festival organizer. But what influence and what impact do you think Beyonce releasing a solo album has had, or a country album has had on UK country specifically, maybe, or even just the genre as a whole?
It's brought country to the fore. We're talking about it, and I know what you're talking about, the socials. Whenever I suppose that's kickstarted another conversation. Beyonce's country, she's not country, etc. Beyonce grew up in Texas, so she's probably more country than any of us have a right to talk about whenever she sees everything.
Exactly.
So I think, regardless of whether you like what she's done or not, like I say, she's brought country to the fore, and it's on people's minds, and it's another dimension to the discussion of what is and maybe isn't country. I think that if the artists that she's covered have come out and condoned and supported what she's done, that's great too, because it was their work first. But yeah, like in this country, I feel that if you kind of grew up around kind of 60s, 70s in the country that you'd be used to then into the 90s, so I grew up on Garth Brooks. If that's your mindset and that's why you're a fan of country, then you're immediately drawn to the Nashville kind of thing.
Yeah.
And as UK artists, we're fully aware, and we're not going to like convert you from that style of country to now totally embrace UK country. But what Beyonce could have done is when a young kid is listening to her album because they like Beyonce and country comes on and they kind of like it, and their algorithm might change and Luke Combs might fire in there, and then maybe a UK artist filters into that. There might be a young kid out there that does start listening to country. That's not that Beyonce is saying you must listen to country, but it might be the way that people listen. They like a little style of it, and then they're drawn to another artist within that musical genre. People have been listening to country in the UK for years without realising it.
You just remember I was watching Katie Gill at a festival, wasn't it? It was a different festival, but we'll mention what one it was. Just because this is Buckles, we'll mention it. But the fact there was a young girl and she was dressed as a cowgirl, like she had the cowgirl boots, and I was watching her more than Kezia because on her face as just such a young girl watching Kezia doing her thing, and the impact it had. I was like, that's like Kezia was she was just impacting her so much, and you could just see it in her her whole kind of. And she kept shouting, "I love you!" And I don't even know if Kezia heard her, but she was just in such an awe. She was like, oh, and then she was like, "I want to do that!" And it was like.
But I don't think that girl's sitting back thinking country. She's probably just thinking it's great.
Yeah.
They're not labelling it. It's just good music. So, what I've seen certainly in the last 18 months or so is the demographic to some of the shows that I've been out playing at. We've seen it here within Buckle and Boots. The demographic is getting younger. It's very positive, and you've seen that this weekend as well. So there's an appetite for country music right now, and it possibly is coming off the likes of Beyonce doing something like that. And Ed Sheeran's been flirting around with country for a long time too. So, and there's the Taylor Swift effect, of course, across the world.
Is it Lordy? Is Lordy not bringing out a country album? Is that up here somewhere?
I'm not sure.
Was another? I think it was her. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that one, but there was another one that bringing out a country album. I'm sure it was Lordy. I'm going to have to look that up. So I'm going to ask you a question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to, because there's a lot of artists and some might get upset and some might not. But my kind of thing is, within the UK scene specifically, who do you think has the potential and quality to become maybe the next Kezia or the next Jade or that kind of label? Who do you see as having that something special to propel themselves up there?
It's it's a tough one.
I know that's why I said you don't have to answer it.
I suppose I'm a little biased. Some of the young artists that I've been working with in the last year or so, I'm really excited about. So Jake O'Neill, Katie Rigby, working a lot with Mickey Evans and Mikala Fredrickson. Amelia's on a route there that Kez has followed. But there's something about Jake O'Neill, I think, that I'm excited about. I loved his set yesterday up there, and the audience seemed to really, really go for it. So he's a great singer, and he's a great writer. We've written a couple of things together. So yeah, there's a few out there.
But we'll talk about your music now, because there's so much to talk about you. We're here for 2 hours. So many questions. I saw the songwriters round with you, Dan and Jeremy, yesterday. And not only was it the banter was there for all to see. The camaraderie was there for all to see. and each of you were really, really different, and like that must have been a fun tour. Plus, Dan was just like his story.
Oh, I mean, if you don't know Dan Smalley, check it out. His backstory is unreal.
Except like unreal, like that's a serious backstory.
Oh, completely. But yeah, the tour I've known Dan for a little bit now, going back and forth playing in Denmark. At kind of similar shows. Jeremy I've been friends with for years. He's like a brother now. So whenever we did go on tour, I knew they'd get on. And songwriting rounds for me are better if the people know each other, because they can throw in funny stories or know how far they can push the banter.
You were all pushing the banter very, very close to the bone sometimes.
So in that regard, I think it becomes a better show, and obviously the main crux of it all is the songs. But yeah, I think as a show, you prefer that people know each other and they can talk about different things. So it was really fun yesterday, and we have another one now on Tuesday over in Oswestry. And then myself and Jeremy go to Denmark for 4 shows as part of the Nashville Nights Spring Tour. And Dan, I think, joins us on the last one of that as well. So
you're busy,
we'll be sick of each other by the end of the summer.
You're busy because you do Country on the Clyde as well. And
yeah, we're involved in Country on the Clyde. We had Country in the Lagan this year. And they're just kind of sister events from this event. And we kind of try and utilise the same pool of artists. And kind of just we're trying to bring little satellite shows to different parts of the UK at different times. And yeah, there could be more on the horizon. Yeah.
Oh, is that one of those we have an announcement to make but we can't make it yet kind of announcement?
Possibly.
We might leave that there. Do you fancy playing a game, Gary? A game called This or That?
Okay, let's go.
So it's love or money and you just choose one.
Okay.
So love or money?
Love.
Buckles or boots?
Buckle.
Main stage or paddock stage?
Main stage.
Hey, that was, you were definitely there, Gary. That was like, everyone else is like, I can't choose that, but you, no. Burgers or Thai?
Burgers.
Beer or whiskey?
Beer.
Singing or guitar?
Singing.
Now, I have to check your Spotify because I'm going to make you choose between your songs now.
Okay.
My favourite song of yours is always the same and it's never changed. He Don't Love Me.
He Don't Show Her Anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always loved that.
Thank you.
Like, it's never changed. Like, I know you've brought out loads of other songs, but like that song's just...
Well, it's a story, isn't it? You know?
It's just like, it's got everything in it. Like, it's not only is it a story, it's got emotion in it. It's got him being a dick. And it's got her emotion in it, and it's like, it's just such a like, it's just the song and just the vibe and the production and everything of it. It's always when I think of Gary Quinn, that's the song I
appreciate that now.
Yeah, I know that's probably a long time ago.
It's a few years ago, but actually my next record's kind of going along that vein. It's going back to the storytelling, kind of strip back a wee bit, that kind of steel guitar, fiddle, and I got to write with some great writers out in Nashville in February. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I feel like I'm going back to my neo-traditional roots, you know.
I'm going to go with a banter question first, and you don't have to answer it now, okay? Dan Smalley or Jeremy McComb? You don't have to answer it. You don't have to answer it. You can stay quiet on that.
I'm going to say Jeremy McComb because if he found out it said Dan Smalley, he'd cry.
Would he? Jeremy, if you're watching this, Dan, if you're watching this, don't.
Oh, Dan gets it. He understands.
Okay, complicated or nobody somebody?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Nobody somebody.
Oh, why?
Just because there's elements in that song that are very much about myself, you know, and that sentiment of maybe someday finding someone beside you who's going to make you feel like that's somebody. So that be more about that. Really.
He's my dad or point of view?
Point of view.
He's my dad's a cool one too.
Thank you very much.
You can probably tell I'm into the emotional songs, can't you? Kind of giving it away there. But Catch Me or Complicated?
Complicated.
Tip of my tongue or bumping into you?
Oh, tip of my tongue.
I remember, was it Festive Moonshine? Is that a Christmas song?
It is, yeah.
No,
Santa Claus getting drunk and not being able to do the rest of the deliveries. Go check it out.
Going to have to check that one out. That's really tickled my fancy, that one. He Don't Love Me, He Don't Show Her Anymore. There's another one that you have. I Love the Way You Leave Her. No.
I Love to Watch You Leave.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. He Don't Show Her Anymore would win that one, I think.
That song always wins for me though.
Yeah.
But I do like the tongue-in-cheek of the.
Yeah, country's cheeky. It's good fun.
Because you know exactly what you like. You don't leave anything to the imagination.
Country's 3/4 the truth, isn't it?
I suppose that's what my kind of final question is. What does country mean to you, Gary Quinn?
Country for me, like growing up around it, and there's like a lot of ties between Ireland and country music. Like we talked about, it's a feeling, you know, it's who you are. For me, it's like a moral compass. You know, a lot of that emotion. You hear the stories, that it's kind of like looking for the real love and not looking to let other people down. You know, being there for your mates, being there for your family. There's a lot of that I find in country music, and then there's the fun part. You know, going out and having a few beers, and being a little cheeky. There's all of those elements to it. That's what I like. That's why I connect with it. You know. I listen to other music, but it's country that I'm drawn to.
You can have a beer and cry at the same time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Every night.
That's basically what you do with country music. You have a beer and cry at the same time. And one last thing. Congratulations on winning the BCMA, didn't you? Buckle and Boots won Best Festival.
Yeah, Buckle and Boots picked
That's
it up
still
there
you,
again.
isn't it?
It is, yeah. We've had, I guess, 3 or 4 we've done there now, so it's always nice to get the recognition of that. But the big thing for us is just that we're continuing to see it grow. And everyone that comes for the first time walks away thinking, you know, that there's a great feel about this festival, that it's not too big, there's enough space, if there's not many chairs floating around.
Chairs or tractors.
So, no, it's great to see the growth of it now. We're really excited about it.
What's the capacity of the farm? Because last night I was like thinking, is there like 1,000 people here? Because like there was people everywhere.
Oh yeah, there was.
You couldn't move.
Yeah, there was. Perhaps there was nearly 2,000 there last night. But on the site here, the capacity can grow right up to 6,000-7,000. They have festivals here that are 6,000 to 7,000. But we don't want to get to that point. I think this festival would lose what it is if we went that big. You know, we're pretty close to where we want to cap. So if anyone wants to be a part of this, the quicker they get the early bird ticket,
the
better for us, because then we know we can cap it and we're kind of coasting along as we'd like to.
That's good.
So get your early bird.
Yes, tickets on sale.
Yeah.
Just check. They might be sold out by now, but this might be a good number one to do.
Yeah.
Really. Probably, because then you can get the tickets going. So this might be session 9, but it might be number 1. But DC is in charge of putting them out, so we'll see. Yeah, thanks very much. I mean, Buckle and Boots, there's definitely something special about it. I can't put it into words what it is, but there's definitely
Thank you. No.
Definitely a special vibe.
The fact you can't describe it is awesome.
Well, it is. It's like you come here and it's the setting, as you said, when you kind of thought, oh, this is great, because it does make you feel country when you walk into this setting.
Yeah.
So I think the setting does play a big part.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you say, like this is just gorgeous, and the kind of
the people
attention
that
to
are coming
detail.
along. There's everybody seems to get on well, and there's no fights, no messing about. It's just everyone enjoying good music and a relaxed atmosphere.
I think people know what they're coming to, and they kind of think, oh, we're going to have a good time, and even like there's just something special about it. It's just it's really good.
Yeah, so you just got a common experience.
So thank you. Buy your tickets now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Gary.
No worries, thank you very much.
Welcome to the Moho session at Buckle and Boots 2024, where our journey starts.